Well, good morning. We're here with Gary Wilkinson, the current mayor of Frisco. He's had a lot of influence in town and in the county. He graduated from Summit High. He also graduated from the Colorado School of the Mines.
Yeah,
He's the current county surveyor.
current. Yeah,
He's also, he was a race coach. Was
yeah.
that a Copper or?
That was at Loveland ski area, Loveland Basin Racing Club. And that was, started in the middle 70s. I actually started coaching skiing in like 1970. Seems like
Amazing.
yesterday.
Yeah, right. Of course. The equipment's changed just a wee bit, and the ski technique maybe.
Oh yeah, like back then it was bamboo gates. I think we got rid of yellow flags back then. But
Oh my! How did your folks end up in the county?
we were living in Evergreen, and my dad was. We moved out from New York State, and my dad was looking for where we were going to ski, and Breckenridge was first going to open that winter, 61, 62. And the only people we knew were this couple from Boulder, Jack and Donna Eiler, and he was going to be the ski patrol director at Breckenridge. And he told my dad, well, take the ski patrol test and I'll make you assistant ski patrol director. So we started skiing in Breckenridge, December of 1961. And my dad was on the ski patrol, and I skied every day, and it was like every day at Breckenridge. But then we started staying at the Frisco Lodge, so we didn't have to drive over the pass, and that's how we met the Andersons there, and how we started staying there more and more, and decided to move to Frisco in 1966.
Wow, what was it like then?
It was remote. You had to go over the Loveland Pass, and people, the only time it really was busy was hunting season. And that's the only time the traffic got backed up going to Denver, was going back when all the hunters were going back to Denver after, on that Sunday evening or something like that, because there weren't that many skiers. I think the first year, Breckenridge had like 3,000 or 5,000 skier days that whole season.
Wow.
Of course, there wasn't the lodging, and it was,
Sure.
you had to go over the pass, and sometimes the pass was closed, so you had to go over Hoosier and through South Park. And but you didn't have any grocery store. You had to go to Idaho Springs or Lakewood, and then you had to no medical facilities. You had to go to Kremling or
Sure.
Fairplay.
Sure.
So but a lot of changes since then.
Oh my. And so you've been responsible for a lot of changes in town. As your tenure, you were on the town council, and then you had 2 terms as Frisco mayor. And
Right.
we're so grateful for all the things that you've provided for us.
Well, thanks. It's not just me. It's a combination of people. Obviously, a
Yes.
great community with input, and great town council and great town staff. And as a captain of a ship, you're kind of at the helm, but you also have a lot of people that have to make it work. So
Indeed. Yeah. And that's nicely said. What are some of the things that you're really proud of that you've accomplished during your time?
well, the one thing when I ran for town council, my goal was to develop the interstate parcel where base camp is now in Whole Foods. I saw an opportunity to get Whole Foods to come up here, had some connections. They were trying to open a store in Basalt, but then the recession hit, but they were still committed to moving into the mountains. And there weren't a lot of prime retail commercial spots available. And here Frisco had that interstate parcel, 9+ acres, the highest commercial property along any interstate. And so you had that unique location with a lot of traffic going by, and what would be the best use? People were trying to think, oh, what's the highest use? But my philosophy has always been, what's the best use and what's the best for our community? That was the one thing I think that got going. But then since then, we've seen a lot of great things happen.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen the improvements at the marina. You remember what it was way back when? It wasn't much there. And I remember there back in the 60s, it was just like an old road that you had to back off the side of the old road to launch your boat. Then, of course, the adventure park. We were able to to start that, that was, also during the Great Recession,
Yeah.
we saw that opportunity, and we were able to move forward on that. And of course, we've been able to do some great housing projects like the Peak One neighborhood, that I'm very proud of. And I think that's great to have that in our community and have a neighborhood like that. It really adds to the character of the town.
Absolutely. Yeah. What about events? What things have you brought on board and maybe see in the future?
Well, it's not just me, it's a combination, but it's the discussions that we always have of, well, what kind of events do we want to have? And we looked at music on Main Street, which kind of ran its course, and we wanted to move on from that. So we started the Thursday night concerts, and been very happy with the way those have evolved. It's a great way to appreciate our historic park, bring people into town, support our nonprofits.
Mm.
So I think that's, hopefully continue this summer, I hope. Might not be exactly the same, but we're
Sure.
looking right now, it's on the schedule. The barbecue we're going to try to do in September.
Mhm.
It's always a balance of, what events make sense in our community. And we've been able to add a lot of recreational events, take advantage of the historic park, youth events. So we'll see those evolve over time. It's definitely gonna have to be readdressed or looked at in a little different perspective now,
Certainly.
because in the past we were going, oh, well, there's too many events, and we're trying to do too much. So how do we find the balance in the future of getting people to take advantage of this great location and enjoy what we have here in Frisco?
Excellent. What would you, if someone were to meet you somewhere else in the world and they asked you where you're from, how would you explain Frisco to them?
Frisco, Colorado, if we've run into people all over Europe and places like that, and I kind of describe it as a unique small mountain community, bordered by a lake and a mountain range, with great ski areas outside your door, great trail system, about an hour from Denver, and and they kind of get the picture.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, I kind of describe it as what it is. So
Excellent. Great. What do you see in the future for Frisco? Where would you like to see it go?
well, one thing that we've been working on obviously is workforce housing. We have to find some balance there. We did get uh, memorandum of understanding on the old trailer park, where
Mm-hmm.
CDOT is still the owner, but we're going to partner with them, and we're moving forward on a possible housing project there. There's Lake Hill, I think, is still in the future, not just for Frisco, but to Summit County, because that's a great opportunity there to add some workforce housing. But maintaining our Main Street, having that come back and being vibrant once again, I can't wait to see that happen, because
Yeah.
I meet people that have been to Frisco from other communities, and they go, "Oh, we love your Main Street. We wish we could clone your Main Street." So it is unique, and it's a great amenity, and hopefully we'll see it back alive again.
So Tuesday was going to be a very emotional day. Is there anything that you might want to give Mayor Hunter Thompson? Hunter Thompson. I knew I was going to do that. Sorry, Hunter.
Hunter Mortensen.
Hunter Mortensen.
No,
um,
we've been
Go ahead.
chatting, and he's been my mayor pro tem.
Yeah.
He loves Frisco just as much as I do. He's involved in the community, and I think that the advice is to be patient. Frisco has a lot to offer, a lot of benefits that going for it, and it'll come back. So trust our staff, which is excellent, and believe in the town and believe in its people, because that's what's made it so great over the years.
Wonderful. Well, Gary, thanks so much for taking the time. And
Well, you're welcome.
Any closing remarks? I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head, but is there anything else that you'd like to share?
No, not right now. I mean, yeah, Tuesday will be a little bit emotional. I'll miss seeing the people, miss being involved with other communities. But I really have great faith in our leadership and great hope for the future. Thanks,
Wonderful.
Stuart.
Thanks very much, Gary. I much appreciate it. Thank you.
Good.